What is up, Mets fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Mets'd podcast. We got a series win. We told you someone was going to win this series this weekend. They had to, and the Mets did. By the skin of their teeth. It wasn't pretty. It was honestly pretty ugly, but the Mets got a series win. Apologies for my voice. I sound very hoarse right now. I have lost my voice in Las Vegas on a bachelor party. I will do my best to keep you through this. Before we get going into it, make sure you guys are subscribed to Mets Up over on YouTube. And if you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, drop us a rating, drop us a review, download, and subscribe. James, initial thoughts. What's it feel like to win a series? How does it feel?
I mean, amazing. We've won 2 out of 4 series now. Again, in what's supposed to be the easy stretch of our schedule against, along with us, because we are one of the worst teams in baseball, against some of the other worst teams in baseball. And it's still not clean. It's not easy. It's not fun. It's kind of like watching Walbert Urania on Friday night before he gets injured. You're like, oh, damn, this guy looks good. And then you get the realization that, everyone looks good against the Mets. So then you have to remember that. I'm like, wow, Nolan Schanuel's taking good plate appearances. I'm like, wow, Jorge Soler is smacking the ball around. You're like, oh, everyone just looks good against the Mets. That's the problem. But again, all you can do is win. It was nice on Sunday that we stacked up some insurance runs. Clay Holmes is great again. It's funny the 2 wins in this series came via Ronnie Mauricio, Mark Vientos having big late game home runs. Mark Vientos 2 home runs. So those are the 2 guys that even us, all the rest of the Mets fans have been vilifying the most. But just nice to actually win one.
Yeah, no, it was nice to win one, like you said, 1, 2 of 4, which is good for this team because they don't win very often. And even though, again, these wins weren't pretty, even though this Mets offense is still anemic, you are seeing some guys at least step up-ish more than they have been for the last 20 days, the last 3 weeks. So we'll take our small victories there, like Bichette swinging the bat better, Carson Benge having really good at-bats. I feel like he's starting to get a little bit more comfortable. We're seeing him pull the baseball. He hooked that nice double today, which was huge for him. I think just seeing those even fall, along with playing the good defense, is massive for his development. Brett Beatty's taking better at-bats, and shout out Mark Vientos and Ryan Mauricio. I know Mauricio on the IL now, so we won't see him for some time. But that he absolutely pieced that ball against Fermin, whoever, Jose Fermin.
Was it Jose Fermin? No, that's the catcher.
That's the catcher? Who's the Fermin? His name was Fermin, I believe that was pitching.
Off Friday night. I'll get it for you right now in a second. But again, this Angels team, they told you going in, their bullpen is probably the worst in baseball. So it's nice that in many of these games, Jose Fermin. Wow, missed that one. Yeah, Freddie Fermin's catcher. Silly. But just you're able to take advantage. Even Carson Benge, the 2 defensive plays on Sunday, the diving catch in the 9th, which if that ball gets down, you start to get the little hints of chaos possibly ensuing. He also made a really nice one going back towards the wall. I don't remember if it was the 6th or the 7th inning, but he's just...
I think it was the 6th.
This was I think the best game I've seen him play on both sides of the ball so far. He felt like a difference maker defensively in the corner outfield. He took many good at bats. He got the insurance run before the Vientos home run, so it was the one that actually really mattered, and Vientos put the game away. But it's nice to see guys on this team coming together when, again, we're still missing basically half our starting lineup, and some of the guys who are supposed to be good are still not even good, but especially Marcus Semien, oh my God. But it's just nice to, again, be able to actually take 2 of 3 from another one of the worst teams in baseball, along with ourselves.
Yeah, at least we're not the Angels is kind of the tagline that we're going to be using, company tagline. At least we're not the Angels right now. It's not much better, but we are not the Los Angeles Angels. Found a way to win 2 of 3. Let's talk about the pitching a little bit. I think we should start with Christian Scott. I know that's your boy, and he looked so incredibly good. I think that was, without a doubt, the best start we've probably ever seen him make as a Met, I would think. Maybe that Braves one.
Or his debut against the Rays, similar.
Yeah, one of those 2. But, from the new version of Christian Scott post-injury, he was throwing strikes. He was attacking batters. I know he gave up that Jorge Soler home run early, but he's strong. He's going to run into a few. He had Mike Trout swing at a sweeper or slider. Yeah. I don't know what it's technically classified as.
Sweeper.
Mike Trout doesn't do that. That's not a swing that you see Mike Trout do. Again, that's one of the best players of our entire generation. To make him look foolish in a season where he's absolutely locked in as well, it's not like he's struggling. That was a pretty eye-opening moment of the excitement and kind of the top-end talent that we could start to see from Christian Scott as he's getting stronger, healthier, more comfortable in the rotation.
Yeah, we're going to get John Harper tweet of the week again because we're going to try to chat him out every episode because he's been on a wicked
Harper's hits?
Harper's hits. Maybe. One time we got to get him on for this, but he's been talking to a lot of the scouts. Heard from a scout today who was very impressed with Scott last night. Plus fastball with ride that explodes the top of the zone. Sweeper breaks late, gets chases when he commands it. If he develops his changeup, he can be a top of the rotation starter. And I think that's, again, great description of this Christian Scott game because he wasn't afraid at all to challenge hitters that fastball in the zone. He was leaving it there. He kept almost every single one he threw above the belt. The sweeper, again, when he commanded it, because he still missed with a lot of them, especially the Jorge Soler home run. He missed pretty badly with that one, but it was just it was nice. Like he was able to kind of layer those pitches together. He barely threw the cutter against righties, just the four seamer and the sweeper were enough for them. And against the few lefties he faced, he relied on that cutter. We've talked a lot about the way that Scott's tried to develop his repertoire to kind of combat this issue with lefties he had, especially the last time we saw him 2 years ago. And there were a few of those cutters. He threw one early. It was against Moncada. It was to get him out of the first inning or to help him ease it through that first inning. I think Moncada came up just after. No, it was just before Soler, so not even through. But with a guy on base, he got Moncada on a back foot cutter because it's kind of like his talk about the cutter distinctions a lot. Scott's cutter is more of a baby slider than the big sweeper that he has. But he back-footed Moncada one. I was like, whoa. And I thought we were going to see more back foot ones. Then he wound up trying to backdoor more of them. So we're still going to have similar problems for lefties, I think. This is an Angels team doesn't just have the most talented lefty hitters in their lineup. He tried to do two of the splitters. One of them, Nolan Schanuel threw his bat at and like poked a single to left field.
Nolan Schanuel shit.
Yeah, Nolan Schanuel was just that guy, pesky at bat. And the other one was just one that flowed on him. So we're going to need to see that pitch get more consistent, but very, very, very fair to be encouraged about Christian Scott, who also owned up to the media after the game about how kind of emotional he was in that first start and why he couldn't throw a strike and why he couldn't settle down, and talking about how he knows his stuff is nasty, he has trust in the zone, the classic Justin Willard line. But really good reason to be motivated by Scott, and he has to stay in this rotation moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, he's by far one of the best pitchers in this rotation.
It's not even close.
Yes, not even close. He's one of the 5 best without a doubt. No walks, huge. Love seeing that stuff. Mets'd walk nobody on Friday night, which also is another reason why you can win baseball games when your offense is absolutely horrendous, because you're not putting guys on. And then shout out to the bullpen again, coming in, closing the door. Every single one of them did a phenomenal job, including Luke Weaver, who I called out for being a little bit of a corny loser at one point. But
two good outings.
Good. Pitch well. That's what you're here to do. Pitch well. I know we can't do it every single time. It's just, let's not give anybody bulletin board material shit. We don't need it.
No, definitely don't need it. And with Scott, too, it's just like, again, like in terms of the 5 guys who could be in this rotation right now, it's really hard to convince me about David Peterson or Sean Manaea getting innings over him in any way, shape, or form ever.
They should not be. They should. There's no world where either of those guys right now should be getting the innings that they are, let alone David Peterson right now being in the rotation as firmly as it feels like he is.
And it was just nice to see the mental game from Scott, where, again, he owned up, he copped to the fact that, like, that first start was emotional. 2 years not pitching the major leagues, very long road back from Tommy John, starting this year back in AAA. When you give up a home run in the first inning, it's a good opportunity to get knocked off your block, and he didn't at all. He pitched, from that point on, he was dominant. The only reason that the Angels even scored their next run was because of an error. It was just like, he was on the money, and it was nice.
Let's talk about Saturday, because Saturday had a little more of a conversation to have here, because we got a little more of what's going on situation with this team. And I think just to get it started off quickly, how in the world did the Mets not challenge that play that ended up costing them the game? I know it was earlier in the game, but the fact that, again, this team feels unprepared, not ready to roll, not ready to move. Our manager is not ready to make any sort of difficult decisions ever. Coming on the heels of Anthony DiComo and every writer out there doing their puff pieces about how Carlos Mendoza is not the problem. He's not going to be fired this year. It's basically sounds like his job is safe, which is absolutely insane. But
I still don't know if I believe that. But again, we're getting votes of confidence left and right. John Heyman got my replies talking about it. I was like, is this the most votes of confidence a team this bad's ever given their manager? And he hit me with not even close. But
which has to be that who's gotten more confidence with a bad team like that with the expectations that they've had? I've never seen anything like it for the glazing of Carlos Mendoza. Only from specific baseball writers. DiComo's now no longer in the circle of trust.
Yeah, they came on the heels again of that article DiComo wrote on Friday of David Stearns allegedly, seemingly going to DiComo and giving a lot of just, I don't know, sound bites about what's wrong with the team, and then the vote of confidence in Carlos Mendoza again to the team writer for MLB. It seemed very weird because he's not a national writer, but also there was no media availability. Like, did they send some text? Like, it was a very strange way to come out and give that vote of confidence. And again, when we get into that play that was not challenged on Saturday night with 2 outs, when you have Jorge Soler thrown out at their base, It's about Mendoza not being like, hey, let's challenge this one. Again, it's about Harrison, the replay guy, not challenging it. Can't believe how many people said his name after the game.
I know, so many people.
I was like, you're really killing this kid right now. But he missed once his job. But like, you got to say his name a lot talking about this. And then also the bench coaches. It kind of comes back to the tinfoil hat hypothesis. I was like, do they want to look Mendoza? Do they want to make him look bad? Like, is that what they want?
Nobody had the wherewithal to be like, you know what? I think we should still challenge this one because he was out clearly very out. Wasn't close.
Even if you think it's a bang-bang play, you still just put it on because we talk about sometimes how the Mets struggle with leverage with the challenges with the ABS, and we've seen it a lot more this weekend. We still see Mark Vientos make some bad ones. Tyrone Taylor, the crazy one on Sunday.
Why do we not seemingly have like a do not challenge list, like a do not fly list? Like Tyrone Taylor and Mark Vientos, unless the scenario is this, you should not be challenging.
But the one by Taylor on Sunday, too, was annoying. Just like we said, a couple of these other ones with Vientos and Alvarez have been annoying, where it's like, this is just not the spot to make a challenge, because it was just after the Mark Vientos home run. You just pulled out to a 4-0 lead. I want to double check to see if the Mets had used a challenge to that point. But why on a 1-0 pitch with nobody on in the top of the 8th when you have a lead? Why is that the time you think to burn a challenge?
From Tyrone Taylor, of all people.
Yeah, the best case scenario is that when you're up 5-1 in the top of the 8th inning, you get a 2-0 count.
But why? For a guy who doesn't do damage.
I'm saying that's not a leverage point to challenge. So this is something seemingly the Mets continue to struggle with, whatever that may be, coaching, preparation, whatever. But that was a spot in the first inning where it was shocking that nothing happened, especially when your ace is on the mound, Nolan McLean. Your team cannot hit. Like, you want to do everything in your power to make him as comfortable as possible. And we kept having more and more of this too. In this first inning, there was it was a pitch between Francisco Alvarez and Nolan McLean where I think he shook him off 6 or 7 times. Yeah. And the pitch clock was running out, and then Alvarez just basically did come on. And he grooved a 97-mile-an-hour fastball right down the plate to Shanuel, who just smacked it for a single. It was batting practice. And it was like, and that is what set up the rally that wound up scoring this run that should have never been scored. So it's like there's tiny little things, like the third batter of the game, the fact that you guys can't be on the same page, just frustrating.
Yeah, and I do think that partially that comes from the pitch calling coming from the bench. Partially it comes to the fact that Alvarez has been a little shaky behind the plate. So I do think, right, I mean, a little shaky is kind of nice. He's been horrible behind the plate. But there just seems to be an uncomfortability right now between McLean and Alvarez that we've never actually seen before. Everyone normally is very much in sync with Alvarez. They always seem to be right in tune. But there are some funky things going on with Alvarez right now in his game that probably deserve less of a discussion, but also a discussion.
I think there were actually 3 instances of this lack of confidence in Alvarez behind the plate right now. There wound up being very key reasons why the Mets wound up losing this game. Our guy Master Flip was talking about this a lot on Twitter. Master Flip's usually relatively positive, and he's been broken over the last few days. He's been freaking out. So Master, if you need a convo, I'm happy to talk, chop it up, comment down. But that play again, there was a 2-strike pitch with Nolan Shanuel. It was the 5th pitch of the at bat. I know Shanuel's a lefty and McLean's a righty, but it seemed like, again, you couldn't exactly see it was being shaken off, couldn't zoom in enough to see it, but that seems like a spot where it's a 1-2 pitch. You want to bury something. You want to do something spinning if you're Nolan McLean, or you try to elevate a fastball. Maybe that was the intention, but because of the rush, you wound up in the zone, so whatever. That was a pitch where 1-2, you're in command. You throw a fastball to a guy right down the middle. You groove one. Then the flip side, the base hit by Vaughn Grissom that you felt like you were going to get out of an inning that the Angels were contending to run. It wound up being the rally that knocked McLean out of this game early. On Vaughn Grissom, you're up 0-2, and it looked like McLean tried to spot a sweeper in the perfect spot rather than just being okay with letting that frisbee just slide all the way across because it got too much to play. It wound up in the zone. Grissom gets the bat hit on it. It's a single. And then in the 10th inning, just to breeze through this game, going to more we talk about from this game, but after Austin Warren somehow gets these 2 pop-ups to get, after being bases loaded, nobody out, to bases loaded, 2 out. Again, 0-2 pitch. I don't remember if it was a sweeper or the curveball, but he tried to place a perfect one. It was just enough in the zone for Oswald Peraza, again, just to poke it out and get the bloop single. And that's a spot where I'd love for Austin Warren, who has a great feel for spin, to bury something. But it seems like there might be a pitching staff-wide lack of confidence in Alvarez's ability to block the ball right now, which is an issue.
This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Baseball fans, the MLB season is in full swing, and FanDuel is giving you a chance to call your shot with daily dingers. Joining the action is easy. Just make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. It's just another reason why FanDuel is the home of home runs. So are you ready to play your game? Head over to FanDuel.com/podcast to get started. That's FanDuel.com/podcast to opt in for daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
And if that is the case, I do think that, one, like the Mets, I mean, I guess it was late in the game, but you need to have that conversation about is Luis Torrens coming in late in the game then for something like that, to be back there defensively? Because if the pitchers are not having the confidence to be able to bury those breaking balls, it completely neutralizes them. You, as a hitter, you can almost know that the Mets aren't going to throw anything spinny down in the zone, so you can kind of just sit your pitch and be ready for everything as they were.
And I want to see Austin Warren's pitch chart again from that ninth inning. There was, based on my looking right now, there was one spinner, one sweeper that was kind of a big miss to Josh Lowe in his plate appearance. That was way down that Alvarez had to go down and get. So again, maybe correlation, causation, this or that, the other thing. Alvarez made the final out in the top of the 10th. So maybe you wanted to save that to get a pinch runner, but that's also playing for the next inning rather than the one you're in. But again, these are these kinds of situations that you see with the team struggling where you kind of hope it could be a little bit more smooth.
Yeah, and I think we have to stop hitting him third, Francisco Alvarez. It's not working.
You just got to go back to 9 maybe to relax himself. And this is the fear with Alvarez, especially that we saw last season, where when the at-bats started to get really poor and he starts to get visibly frustrated, he couldn't even snap a bat properly over his knee on Friday night.
Todd Zeal.
And then Zeal was pretty good this weekend. Zeal did a good job.
Oh, Zeal's been doing a good job. Zeal's a nice fill-in for sure.
Yeah, he was having fun, California hometown guy, but he's still, even in this fourth year that we've seen Francisco Alvarez, third year as the ordained full-time starter, fourth year, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, this is gonna be his fourth year as an ordained starter. Injuries have taken a lot of time from that, but to not be able to separate the mental game out when you're struggling on one side, to take those struggles to the other side, and then these cold streaks snowball from Francisco Alvarez, like we've seen kind of time and time again, and it continues to happen. It's very frustrating that we're at this point in his professional career and we're still having these kind of whirlpool moments. He
will get good and then he's going to get hurt. That's just kind of how it happens. Every time he starts to play about as good as he possibly can, he's like, what if I hurt my thumb running? Or what if I catch a foul ball? And some of they're freak injuries. I'm not blaming him. But the lack of consistency with Francisco Alvarez is something that I was hoping we were going to get over this year. And especially with how he started the season, I did think we were seeing a different version of Francisco Alvarez. Unfortunately, it still might be a little bit of time.
No, it is, and especially the way we ended last season into the start of this season. You kind of felt like there was momentum pulling, and maybe it's been pulled down a lot by how god-awful this team is. But again, it's not really an excuse like professional baseball player. At least if you're struggling on one side, get it together on the other side. A guy in this team who is a professional baseball player, like Bo Bichette, another great weekend in the field. Bo Bichette now also is going to be thrust back into being a starting shortstop with now Ronnie Mauricio shattering his thumb on that slide. Every time I see a guy slide to first, I was at the game in 2007 that Reyes busted his thumb. So every time I see that now, I just have this horrible thought in the back of my head. My dad was there too, and he always gets mad when he sees a guy do that.
It's also slower. Running through the bases faster. It's the only base you literally get to do it to.
And fracturing that thumb sucks. Now we're down our top 2 starting shortstops. Looks like Bichette will be back there based on the lineup that was drawn up on Sunday. Even though Brujan got called up, I guess he'll just be the speed defensive guy. This bench is just such a disaster right now. It's like I can't even imagine it.
Yeah, I mean, as bad as Beatty and Vientos and those guys have been, they play those positions. Maybe that's what helps get Brett Beatty right, and his at-bats have been better since he went back to third base, go figure. But I don't think there's a reason to have Brujan play. The Mets guys who we thought were going to be good stink. The guy who couldn't make that team, probably not going to bring much to the table. Also, just some of the guys that we're wheeling in right now, it really is. People always like to make the joke about Stearns doing Brewer shit. This is not even Brewer shit. This is White Sox type stuff, the guys that are coming on this roster. Austin Slater was on the White Sox last year. There are some horrible players coming through right now.
I mean, right now, the active daily bench for the Mets is going to be, as we start the series in Colorado on Monday, Luis Torrens, Vidal Brujan, Andy Ibanez, Austin Slater. And I'll say this, with that during that game on Saturday, I thought Andy Ibanez took professional at-bats. He's a guy who's
good.
No, he's totally a fine bench player to have. I don't see any problem with the Andy Ibanez.
On a good baseball team.
For sure. If this baseball team was better, we still do the daily Austin Slater humiliation ritual. That hasn't stopped, but similarly, just to give some credit to the good things that happened on Saturday before we also talk bad again before we move on to Sunday, it was nice to see the Mets rally hard in that 7th inning with Reed Detmers kind of running on fumes, obviously. And I know the Angels bullpen's a disaster, and Kurt Suzuki wanted to give his guy the 7th, but to leave your lefty in when there's 2 guys in the Mets lineup, I'll give Vientos credit again for Sunday, but 2 guys in the Mets lineup who really, really need a lefty on the mound to make an impact are Mark Vientos and Marcus Semien. So to leave your lefty
Slater.
And Austin Slater, Andy Ibanez as well. So to leave your lefty starter on the mound, even for that 7th inning, when he still was at 90-ish pitches, I thought that was a crazy move. It allowed us to get back in the game. Vientos got it started, roped a double. Semien hit a single. And Semien had the big hit on Friday, too. So, again, sometimes
can run into one. But yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Semien also stole.
He quite literally ran into one.
Yes, he did, and he did steal the base to set up scoring the tying run on Saturday as well. So again, better. But then for Bichette to ground out right to third base, they get that runner cut down home, and then Bichette to hit the double play in the 10th. Again, Bichette's been hitting much better, but man, like it's just like this is kind of the issue with hunting Risp, is that sometimes you get guys where you're good at Risp, but now for some reason you're not, and I don't know how to figure it out.
Sometimes a ball in play is not always the best option.
No, but again, he has been swinging the bat better. Those are two of the worst plate appearances. He wound up taking the whole series. Oh, I got another John Harper one about Bichette here. This is a huge one.
Oh, give me.
What did we call it? Harper's what?
Harper's hits.
Harper's hits. Based on expectations, track record, and $42 million salary, gotta say Bichette has been the most disappointing Met. When we say that, people scream at us. John Harper says take of the year. Plenty of candidates, but Bichette was supposed to be a Risp savant, delivered once tonight, but failed 7th, then 10th. Double play was the Mets' last gasp, hitting 194 with Risp.
Now, I will say he hit 333 with Risp on that game, game. So he actually did succeed pretty well.
Fielder's choices now in double play.
Oh, it was a fielder's choice. My bad.
Yeah. So 133. So 333.
I was right.
Yeah, you're right. Now it's great. Actually, a great game with Risp by Bichette there. But
one of his few good ones.
Yeah, he's just also the Kimbrel ninth inning was very funny. That was just tight, clenched the whole time. But
yeah, it was like, how are we going to lose this one?
Yeah, it works it out. Just a frustrating game. Tobias Myers relieving McLean, who got pulled early. He was almost 80 pitches through 4. I thought it was a quick hook, but I also kind of understood why we did it. Like when you have the long guys and you have to burn them anyway, there's a good time to use Tobias Myers and get him his 40 or 50 pitches, whatever he wound up getting. So nice to give McLean a blow. Felt like he was, again, very frustrated with himself. I don't think he executed the breaking stuff super well. Can kind of think maybe that's because of the Alvarez situation we talked about before, but nice to have Myers kind of clean that up and let that game get through to the middle innings and sit in a tight spot.
Yeah, just wish we challenged it. Still kind of incomplete, shocked and baffled that play was not challenged.
God, I was so ready to be so happy for Austin Warren getting through that 10th. Once we got the 2 pop-ups, I was like, yeah. But
I love Austin Warren. He just, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. But they're good. Happy the Mets could show up on Sunday, win a rubber game, a game they desperately needed to win.
Three guys showed up on Sunday.
Enough guys showed up on Sunday. And again, twice in this series. I mean, every single game we gave up an early lead in this series. The Angels scored the first inning run all 3 games. So it's nice the Mets actually win some, because heading into the series, the Mets had not won a game. They trailed after the 3rd inning all year, which is, talk about a shocking stat.
Jesus
I can't wait.
Christ.
When that 9th inning comeback comes, it's going to hit like crack.
It's been over a year.
we make Kahana look real nice, though. Man, look real nice through the first couple innings of this game.
Yeah, I mean, and go figure that Mark Vientos hits a home run off the guy who throws hard and forces ground balls. He's like, what if I hit a home run off of you? Like, that doesn't... The way that this guy plays and the way that he performs every single day, it truly does startle me. It makes no sense. 2 + 2 = 8. But, hey, big home run from him. Vientos, big day. But Kahanowitz, somehow got 6 strikeouts. This guy doesn't strike anybody out. I think he has like a 12% K rate.
I think it's a little higher this year. I'm checking right out with this. But Vientos also not the best defensive series. But again, still, he got the home runs that we needed him to get. A 16% strikeout rate this year for Kahanowitz.
That's so bad.
So it's up from 14% last year. Not bad.
Don't let him get
Not
hot.
bad at all. Not bad at all. Our friend
6 strikeouts.
Matt Eddy loves Kahanowitz.
In another organization, he can be a good pitcher.
But again, even Melendez getting another base hit, a well-struck ball, making that crazy diving play in the middle innings. Like, it's
so good, MJ Melendez.
And then Austin Slater comes in, takes the worst at-bat against left you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, I would have rather had Wagaman at this point. I don't see the value of Slater at this moment.
I guess if you could put Wagaman on the bench, but that's Slater's spot. And then, I mean, because Ibanez, I actually kind of trust Ibanez, guy that can hit a lefty enough.
I think he does. I think Andy Ibanez hits lefties well.
That's his thing, yeah. And again, even like for the Vidal Brujan spot, I guess you just don't have anyone else even on the active roster that could play shortstop. If like Bichette were to get hurt mid-game, that would be Brett Beatty playing shortstop, or Semien, I guess, could play shortstop. Honestly,
it would be Semien, I would think.
I'm definitely getting excited about a potential world maybe in the second half of this season. Who knows how many wins this team has? Doesn't matter. Where Marcus Semien maybe only plays against lefties.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case. I mentioned you that a little bit earlier of like, I think that's kind of the only role for him right now. He just, again, Marcus Semien, great guy, works really hard. I don't think there's any of like the personal stuff that needs to be said, but like in terms of performance, I just don't think he got it. Like he hasn't had it the last few years. I think the Monstars got to him. They sucked out the power, and it's just he's really got not much that he can bring to this team besides being there.
I mean, again, also, sure, if he can be
He can be there.
When the team is better constructed, like right now, the Andy Ibanez role that we're talking about, that's Marcus Semien. That's not that bad. If Marcus Semien can come off the bench and take the pinch hit against the left-handed pitcher and then play good defense in late innings, like that's fine. Like I'm not
the
even
problem is
what
that we traded Brandon Nimmo for him. I know Brandon Nimmo's hurt right now, but that's it for people, and fairly so. Yeah, Marcus Semien can't ever be a productive player because he won't be as good as Brandon Nimmo was here. So even if he does have a nice role on this team, it does conceptually stink that we trade a bad contract to take a bad contract for a guy who's going to sit on the bench.
For sure. I sit on the bench 3 days a week. That's what you got to do. What I do, flush the toilet every single time baseball season's about to start. I'm a toilet flusher with baseball. But also, you just can see it too. Like when you get runners on in the 5th inning, you get a little 2-out rally going with Melendez and Beatty. Kahanowitz is relatively on the ropes. You still want to really add an insurance run. Semien works his way to a 3-1 count. And then Kahanowitz just drops him a changeup right in the zone. Should be a pitch that you're really ready to drive, pull in the air, and at least pull through the hole in the ground. Can't get around on it, and then you're just running for it because he thought he was gonna get some hard, he got some soft, and then pause, and then getting a hanging slider in a 3-2 pitch and just whiffing right through it. It's like, come on, man,
maybe it's something about that 7 spot. Mark Vientos the home run there. We know Beatty was playing well when he was down there. Benge's been playing well when he's been down there. Francisco Alvarez played better down there. Maybe we just got to hit Juan Soto 7th.
I was gonna say we've got like 6 guys in this team. Like they should get a shot. Let them be 8-9, get their stuff together. I mean,
it's a shame that we have to fill out the rest of that lineup.
It is funny after these 2 home runs, Mark Vientos having a 250 average and 740 OPS.
And helping out that split against right-handed pitching too, because it was pitiful.
It's still not easy. It's still just still feels like every day we're watching a bad baseball team play.
Oh yeah, no, this is a bad baseball team. I've kind of given up the take that I'm going to be like, this is a team that's playing poorly. This is a bad baseball team. The way it's currently constructed, it's not good.
No, it's not good. Especially the guys who are in the lineup every single day. I mean, shout out Clay Holmes is good. The pitching is still the pitching.
Where would Clay Holmes be, or where would the Mets be without Clay Holmes?
This is what I keep coming back to, which is annoying. I'm so oddly confident in this team starting pitching wise right now. To a spot I couldn't even believe it, especially because of my confidence in Christian Scott, probably relative to the mean, and then to the beliefs the Clay Holmes, Christian Scott, Nolan McClain, Freddie Peralta. Like that's a 4 that can definitely get you through a major league season. You're going to be in 80% of your games.
Yeah, and it's just
5,
the offense.
5, whatever. Tobias Myers
could
one
score
day, please.
5 runs a game. They'd be so much better.
But again, when you read the names in this lineup, like when MJ Melendez is hitting 3rd, but then you always has to be pinch hit for. It's like that sucks. That was supposed to be Bichette though in that spot because you weren't supposed to be able to get Juan Soto with the lefties late in games. And Bichette was supposed to be the guy that could clean up any mess, run a scoring position, and crush lefties. Or that could be Jorge Polanco in that spot, but he's not here either. He's doing baseball activities now, but they say he's still week to week. It's like, how are these guys coming back? Like
it's like painful. A lineup that if you did like an MLB The Show like expansion draft, you'd be like, I'm going to trade all my picks to go get Juan Soto, go get my franchise guy, and we'll just hope a couple of these guys stick that we put in the lineup otherwise.
And that's still kind of where we're at again. Like while Beatty's at bats have been better, it's still kind of a slog for him most days. Semien, I just don't.
I don't see how he gets out of it.
I don't know either. And especially when Alvarez is hitting this poorly, it's like who is going to be the guys in this lineup that can actually help produce runs?
Well, Mark Vientos will be hitting 3rd next game, so
probably him. And it's going to go to his head, and all the bad stuff's going to happen again. It's just
We have to 7 watch. We have to keep an eye on who hits 7th every day.
It's going to be a good one. I got 7 on it. Other things from this series, I mean, other things from the weekend, just the Torrens extension I thought was kind of strange.
It didn't seem necessary.
And he was out of team control at the end of this year.
Good for him, though, getting paid.
Great for him getting paid. Nice to get as a backup catcher to like secure generational wealth. But at the same time, it's like he's turning 30 this year. If I'm not, he just turned 30. So
it's not $11.5 million a year, right? It's total.
No, I believe. I mean, I'm like 95% sure it's $11.5 million total. I think that's how you word that. Yeah, $5.75 million a year.
Cool, that makes sense.
But again, still like, yesterday was his birthday. He signed the extension on his birthday.
Yeah.
He's our age. He just turned 30.
I know, I'm older than Luis Torrens. Both of us are older than Luis Torrens. That feels wrong.
That's going to make these next sentences sound insane. You just kind of get scared about catcher defense when guys start to age a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just like us. But
he is so good, though.
You know, he's truthfully one of the best defensive catchers in baseball. What he's done to like just totally transform the way the Mets handle the running game in the 2 years since he's been here, because we're about the 2-year anniversary of the Mets actually acquiring him. Like it's night and day. Remember how bad the Mets were against stolen bases that first month of 2024?
So bad. Everybody was running all over, and like It's to the point, especially with Alvarez defense too now, where like it would be nice if Soto eventually can get back to the outfield so that we can have that bat in the lineup defensively too, so that you can keep DH maybe open for Alvarez, who we know has sometimes things, like you said, will carry over. Bad defense carries over to the plate. Bad plate discipline carries over to the defense. Just hit, dude. Just go out there and swing the bat.
Or hopefully we get to a spot where, again, just Jorge Polanco can play first base, and then Mark Vientos possibly, unless he's really hitting, he could be the DH, or he could be the pinch hitter for MJ Melendez whenever the lefty comes in. But then also it's fun when you get the pinch hitter for MJ Melendez when lefty comes in, because then 2 at-bats later, 1 at-bat later, Austin Slater winds up facing a righty. It's like, would you rather have Austin Slater face a righty or MJ Melendez face a lefty? Like, that's kind of the question you have to ask. But there's not a lot of options. This team is not good enough baseball players in this lineup every single day to actually stack wins, which is sad.
Absolutely not. And we get to go play the Colorado Rockies now, which I think that leads us to our series preview.
It does. And last thing, people get mad about Wayne Rendazzo put in the books. Him and Howie are so tight. Come on, get over
I don't know
yourselves.
why anybody gets upset about that. Clearly, these guys are very tight. And from our experience being around them, they're good buds.
Howie loves Wayne. He loves Wayne deeply and dearly. Do we even know who's actually going to start for the Mets on Monday in Colorado?
That's actually a great question.
Because that would be David Peterson's spot. Tobias Myers just threw.
I'm coming home. Can't really do that song anymore.
No, not really. But like Tobias Myers threw his 40 pitches on Saturday, so he can't even be used. So I guess we're going to do a double lefty piggyback. Why not? Right? Yeah, stack our lefties. Always
make it easy for them.
So I guess we're going to have fireworks on Monday night, because it's going to be the combination of David Peterson, Sean Manaea against Tomoyuki Sugano. And then Tuesday, talk about a revenge game. Freddie Peralta versus Michael Lorenzen. Got to hit that guy.
Jeez, we have to hit him.
Can't do this again. And then
the Braves just shit all over the Rockies this weekend. Please.
And then Wednesday matinee, another revenge game, double revenge game. Christian Scott against Jose Quintana.
Oh, he's going to dice us up again. Jose Quintana is going to make you completely rethink how you look at breaking balls in Colorado.
Jose Quintana on the Wednesday afternoon in Colorado is going to just slash our souls in half.
Yeah, because Mets will score 2 runs.
It's so disheartening to watch this lineup every day. Again, we're trying to cling to the shreds of hope between, again, Bo stinging the ball a little bit more. He's hitting the ball hardly consistently, too.
Yeah, hard hit rates are I think one of the higher ones in the league actually right now.
It is, but it's the Fernando Tatis thing. Every single hard hit ball is just on the ground.
Killing worms.
No, we love a ground ball so much. Saturday was a ground ball epidemic. But again, if Semyon's going to continue hitting near the middle of this order and he continues to be as bad as he is, I don't know how. I just don't know how you're able to turn this lineup over and truly produce runs.
And I do think that's part of the reason why they have a hard time hitting runs. Is just hitting runs, scoring runs, is because there's just so many holes that even if guys get on base, it's impossible to bring them in, because it's here's a ground ball, here's a strikeout. The way that this Mets roster is built is needing to string hits together, and they don't have good enough hitters to string hits together.
No, not at all. We were allergic to doubles as a team. And also this Rockies team, since they swept us at home, shocking, they lost 5 out of 6 games.
Crazy. I was told that they're a really good baseball team.
Honestly, this should be a situation where this Mets team should come out ripping and rolling. You're coming off a series win. You have to build some momentum. I want people I want people stealing bases. I want people sliding,
embarrass
clapping.
them.
Go into Colorado thinking that you have something to prove because this team just sunned you on your home field, because you actually do. If you want to get any chance of getting the season back relatively on track, you need to stack wins. You need to sweep series. Again, you're going to have to chip away at this for a long time, but you can't. This team just got dusted by the Braves in a 3-game series. Don't let them ever get comfortable. If you guys want to be it, talk about my buddy Ryan on Saturday night. Other teams love playing baseball against the Mets.
Love it.
They're sliding. The pitchers are being aggressive. People are clapping. They're excited. The Mets come to let the game be dictated to them, and that's the thing we keep saying. That's the feeling. That's why maybe that a changing of the manager might make sense at that point, honestly, which is why we keep saying it. But it's still just let's just go.
Mets need to alpha max a little more.
The Mets have to mog the Rockies.
Oh God, if the Mets mog the Rockies, I'll be alpha maxing so hard. I don't even know what that means. All right, do we have Franklin Peppers?
Yeah, we have Franklin. Also, did you know this?
And I have something to tell you too about the Bolognese. Frankie made a Bolognese, win a series. Also, shout out our buddy Ernie, official translator of the Mets'd podcast.
Yes.
We went to dinner to an Italian place on Friday night. Ernie ordered a bowl of Bolognese, pappardelle Bolognese. It looked delicious. Side of mashed potatoes.
No, he didn't.
Side of mashed potatoes with his Bolognese is one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
That's like what a 9-year-old orders at the diner.
I love Ernie. That's why I feel like I could share that, because we're laughing with him.
He's a part of this podcast. But we got Franklin Peppers coming up. Probably gloating about how good the Bolognese was.
I mean, it's going to be about the Bolognese.
If he turns the season around with another bolognese, like we're gonna have to start having real conversations. But again, long way to go until that happens. Here's Frankie.
Gentlemen, this is Frankie Peppers. How you doing? I can't explain the bolognese except that it's magic. I don't understand because the weekend I make bolognese is the first time we won a series in 14 years. I don't understand. I have to eat more things than just bolognese, gentlemen. I can't. My doctor says I have high cholesterol. I can't eat just bolognese. But if that's what I got to do to make sure this team wins, I might have to do it. I made some bolognese pizza last night in an attempt to change things up. That didn't work.
Ooh.
So tonight my plan was to just do bolognese pasta like usual, and I think the plan still worked. So I don't know what's going to happen to my heart, but if I gotta eat bolognese every day, boys, I'm gonna do it. I hope you boys enjoyed your weekend, Mark. I hope that Las Vegas is treating you beautifully, James. I hope you've been enjoying this nice New York City weather. We won a series. Let's win 2. Let's go, Mets. Take care, boys.
You ever seen the show The Review, James?
I don't think so.
It's from Comedy Central.
Yes.
I don't know what the actor's name is.
He's the funny guy who was in. I don't know. He was in Semi-Pro.
Eastbound and Down.
Yeah, Eastbound and Down. Everything. That's his role.
I think he was Dick Pepperfield in Eastbound and Down. But he had a bit on there where he would review things. People would ask him to review it, and they said, I think it was eat 14 pancakes.
That invented this whole pancake thing everybody does for fantasy football punishments.
Yeah, it was like eat 14 pancakes, and he did it. And like obviously it's not real; it's a show, it's a sitcom or whatever. But
that's the best.
He throws up, and then he talks about 1 star, would not recommend. It was an awful experience. The next
15.
review, they're like eat 15 pancakes, and he's
like, oh my god.
That's what it feels like with Frankie right now with bolognese.
And that show is really good. Oh, we have 2 updates from Anthony Ducomo about the Mets game on Monday.
Okay.
These are fun. This sucks. Due to the freezing and possibly rainy weather forecast in Denver, the Mets and Rockies are moving up Monday's series opener. It's now a 5:40 p.m. start Eastern time.
That's good for us.
There's even some snow in the forecast later in the week. It's good for the Knicks.
That's great for the Knicks.
Oh, we should do Knicks Corner. And then number 2, we're going to use an opener ahead of David Peterson.
Nice. Knicks Corner?
Knicks Corner.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
It's back. It's back. We're back. They clearly got woken up. And they were like, hold on a second. You're the Atlanta Hawks. We're the New York Knicks. Let's show you how business is done, because I don't know if I've seen a basketball team undress another team like that almost ever in the playoffs.
No, that was one of the most dominant sporting events I think that's ever happened. The Knicks set the record, I think, for the largest margin of victory in an NBA playoff game ever. And they also had the largest halftime margin of victory ever. And the funny thing is, a lot of players on the Knicks, they all came from Villanova, also had the largest margin of victory. I saw this tweet a lot in NCAA basketball history.
Oh, really?
In the Final Four. And one guy was on both of those teams that lost. I like how not online you've been, so I could break this news to you.
Okay, let me think. He had to be on the Hawks.
Yeah. He didn't get many games.
Didn't get many games. Who is it?
Buddy Hield.
Oh, wow. What a fun fact.
Isn't that funny?
That's crazy. Poor Buddy.
It's nice that, maybe again, hope, pray. It looks like Mikal Bridges may have remembered to play basketball.
Maybe. I don't know. It took him having one of the worst basketball games of all time to get back to remembering how to play the game. You got to hit a low before you can get back high.
And then we were a little nervous, freaking out about the Knicks. They wound up blowing those 2 games 2 and 3, 1 point each, and then they just went ballistic the rest of the series. It looked like, again, we're better, we're going to win. Also,
we have an elite rivalry coming up here with the Sixers. Cat and Joel Embiid hate the living shit out of each other. It's gonna be a phenomenal series. Again, if you are a Mets fan looking for something to do besides watch the Mets, I'd consider watching some Knicks playoffs game. The games are going to be really good, and we have a chance to knock out Philly again, which would be incredible. I've been talking a ton of trash to Philly's people in Las Vegas. I was wearing my Marbury jersey yesterday. People were like, "Oh, we're going to take you, Philly." I was like, "Yeah, okay, dude. Let me know when your best player plays more than 30 games in a season."
It doesn't matter how many games he plays in the season because he's playing right now, and Joel Embiid went off against the Celtics, and
he's good.
I'll be honest. I was watching Game 7 out on Saturday night, and I had a piece of me in my heart where I was like, I actually kind of hope the Celtics win because
I wanted the Celtics.
The Celtics looked like they were reeling, and this Knicks team was built specifically to beat the Celtics. We beat them. We dispatched them last year rather easily, if I have to say.
Easily.
Jaylen Brown has no bag. Jason Tatum didn't even play in Game 7. Nikola Vucevic, who's their big trade deadline acquisition, is
don't know why they got him.
Unplayable player in the playoffs because he's a traffic cone on defense. So watching that game, I was like, I have no idea how the Knicks. I have no clue how they could stop Tyrese Maxey even a little bit. They're going to switch.
So good.
They're going to switch Maxey onto Brunson, and we're going to be like, all right, hope someone misses a 3 off this kick out.
What do we play, like a 3-2 zone?
I mean, they're not the best at shooting, but Paul George had a great series. I can't believe how Paul George looked that series. That Celtics team who's owned the 76ers mentally for going on like a decade now, through different iterations, but a lot of the same concepts, culture there. For them to have blown that 3-1 lead, that was a joke.
And Tatum getting hurt and missing that game too that's rough. Maybe rushed him back a little bit.
Especially we talk about like Mets making adjustments. Joe Mazzulla to play do nothing different as you lost a 3-1 series when you lost similar ways to the Knicks last year. It's like it was.
Well, that's the critique of him always for the last 30-second series, that Mazzulla has his system. That's what it does. If it doesn't work, he loses. He doesn't make an adjustment. Where have I heard that before about a coach?
I mean, again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday this coming week. So Knicks Mother's Day playoffs.
Your mom's a huge Knicks fan.
My mom's a freak of nature Knicks fan. My mom loves the Knicks.
It's honestly shocking how much your mom loves the Knicks.
She screams the whole time. She starts speaking obscenities. I can't wait to watch the Knicks. When I watch some games, the family, I can't wait for them.
And that's it. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to Mets'd over on YouTube. If you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, drop us a rating, drop us a review, download, and subscribe. You can follow James on social media at
James Chiano.
I'm Draft Nick Mark. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
Peace out, guys.